Morning, everybody. How you doing? Well, it's not morning, is it? It's afternoon. Hi. You all okay? Hope everybody is. So happy Wednesday. We're halfway through the second week. It feels like a lot longer, doesn't it? Oh, it's starting to drive me a little bit crazy. But never mind. We are mega busy at the moment. We have got lots going on online, which is brilliant. But we've also trying to get ready for our Chanda show next Tuesday. So we've got two shows, 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. Obviously, we're not travelling up to the studios. We're just going to be here. We've got to film some demos and stuff. Do them. But I do hope you'll tune in. I'm going to tune in and watch us on TV, which is going to feel very strange. So yeah. Hi everybody. Oh, everyone's coming online, which is lovely. So we're going to do our sew along today. Oh, Caroline's joined us. Hi, Caroline. Hope you're well, darling. And Sian's there as well. Brilliant. So we're going to do our sew along today. This is the second block. In the block of the week series we're doing. I've seen lots and lots of examples of your illusion blocks and they look amazing. Really lovely. I'm loving seeing all the new colours and all. Hi Linda. Yeah, it's been really nice to see how different everything looks in different blocks. So I'm going to hand you over to Drew. Everybody's coming online. As per usual, there will be later on today or first thing tomorrow, but within the next sort of 24 hours there will be a little written instruction that you can buy off the website for this. But apart from that, I hope you're all cut out and ready to go. So I'm going to flip you around. Say hi to Drew. There he is. He's here with us again. So I'm going to flip him round. There we go. Hi. You see me all? How's everybody doing? Everybody okay? Everyone feeling all right? So how did you get on with your cutting on? Was that all okay? Have you done all your cutting out? Cutting on? Cutting out, that's what I meant to say. Everybody got on with their cutting out okay? Cool. So hopefully, what we're doing is this second block in the block of the week, and it's the same size as last time, so it's a 12.5 inch unfinished block, so it'll be 12-inch finished. So you can join them together and you'll be able to put all these blocks together if you want to do a sample quilt, or I had a comment earlier from Jackie Miles who has done like 6 of those illusion blocks we did last week. And they look fantastic, all in different colours. So well done, everybody. I've really enjoyed seeing all your work. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do the second sew along. So I'm going to go through what you should have. So groups, if you want to come here. So you should have, out of your background, your white, I think I wrote it as, a 4.5 inch square and 8 2.5 inches. Okay. You should then, out of a second colour, I think it was pale green on the instructions, 16 2.5 inch squares. Okay, so you should have 16 of these, and then you should have 4.5 inch squares, which was red I did originally. Okay, that should be 4.5 in red. So if you've got all that, okay, we're ready to sew. So the first thing you want to do, so there's a couple of techniques in this one. Which is one of the reasons I chose the blocks. There's adding corners to a square to give, which is slightly different to flying geese. Same sort of method, but it gives a slightly different look. And also, I'm going to show you, there's some 4 patches in there, but I'm going to show you how to get a really nice crisp finish on the 4 patch. Okay, so first thing you want to do is we're going to add the corners to these. So you're going to take 8 of your 2.5 inch squares, so you need 8 of them. All right, so I have already started doing this. How's everybody doing? Everyone okay? Are you all watching along, or are you actually sewing with me today? What are you doing? Okay, so you're going to take 8 of them, and we're going to draw a line corner to corner. And I'm doing this with a red fricks on, so hopefully you can see. Okay, you're going to draw a line corner to corner like this. Okay. And this is going to be our sewing line. So you need to do that with all 8 of these. Okay, the other 8 you're just going to put aside for later. Okay, so you should have 8 squares all with a diagonal line on them. Okay, how's everybody doing with that? Everybody all right with that so far? I'm going to take 2 of them. A lie. You're going to take 1 of them and you're going to add 1 of the squares. Okay, now this fabric's directional, so I want to kind of try and keep this right, okay? So if it's not directional, it won't matter. We're going to put it in the top left-hand corner, okay, with the diagonal line going this way. So from top right to bottom left, okay? And I'm just grabbing pins. And what we're going to do is, I'm just going to pin that one just here on the corner out the way, okay? So come back up to me. Come back up to me, love.
Yep.
Okay, and then we're going to do this for all four. Okay, so I want you to do the same corner on all four. So you're going to put this one across the corner like this. Okay, so do that on all four. Because once we've done that, we can take them to the sewing machine. Okay, so everybody feeling all right today? Everybody doing well? What have you been up to? We have, like I was saying a minute ago, we have been mega busy trying to get ready for the Chanda show. So it's been a little bit crazy, but it'll all be fine in the end, I'm sure. There we go. Listening to a lot of the news, a lot of nonsense about Trump in America. So how is the president? We really don't know. So we're going to take these to the sewing machine. So Drew's going to come with me. Okay, hopefully. So I've got my 1/4 inch foot on today. If you haven't got a 1/4 inch foot, remember you can move your and you can move your needle. Just move your needle over so you've got a 1/4 inch. Okay, but I'm gonna just use my 1/4 inch foot, and I'm gonna sew on this line. Okay, so you're not going either side. You're gonna sew direct. Okay. Now my machine decided it was going to blow up yesterday, and can you hear that funny ticking noise? We don't know what it is. So it didn't work for about an hour, and we changed the. So there we go. Can you see? I've just sewn down that line there. Okay, and I'm going to do the same with all four. Yeah. So yeah, it decided it wasn't going to work. We changed the fuse, all sorts, but it eventually came back on. But now it's making this really strange ticking noise. We can't work out what it is. So we are hoping, I'm hoping that it's going to keep working. Just going to have to put up with the ticking noise, I'm afraid. There we go. Now you can chain pieces if you want. If you don't want to do them out individually, you can just go in and chain piece. There we go. Okay. And if you have chain pieced them, we're just going to snip that apart. All right. So you can see I've just sewn down the line on all four of those. Okay. Now we're going to go across to the ironing board, and all I'm going to do is, hopefully you can see this. Okay. Grapes, you with me? I'm just going to snip off the excess here. Okay. You can if you want, but quicker with scissors. I'm just going to snip off the excess. So this side of the line, just get rid of that excess.
Sandra says she missed the start. Which colours did you mark?
The fabric that you've got 16 2.5 inch squares of. Okay. So there will be written instructions for this, love. Okay, or you can watch it back because remember it'll be on our YouTube channel as well. All right. So yeah, I've taken 8 of the 16. And drawn a line across them. Okay.
And Maria asked which corner first.
It doesn't matter which corner, as long as it's the same corner on all four. Okay. So I always tend to do top left, but that's just out of habit. Okay. So I just tend to do top left. All right.
Dave says that you've got a screw loose in the machine.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Dave. I probably have got a screw loose. I would send it off to be serviced, but no can do at the minute, so I might have to go back to my little old one for a little while. Okay, so all I'm going to do now is just press out that corner. Okay, so I'm going to press that out like that. So I'm going to set the seam and then just roll that back and press it out. Okay, do that on all four. Set the seam and then roll back, and then last one, set the seam and roll back. So there we go. Okay, I'll just get my little line out of the way. Some of you were asking about the cut and press board yesterday, this little board. We found the pattern for it because it's a class that we did quite a while ago now actually, but we found the pattern for it, so that will be going on the website as well. So if you do fancy making one of these little boards, that will be going on. So hopefully you can see we've now got one corner like that. Okay, so now you're going to take your other 4, and it's a bit like we did the flying geese. You're going to set them like this. Okay, so can you see it overlaps this one here, which is what you want. You want that to overlap. Okay, so I've got it now going this way. So if this is the top, let me turn that round for you. So this is the one we did first of all. Okay, and then we're going to have it this way. So this time the diagonal line is going from the bottom right up to the top left, and it will overlap this one here. So I'm going to pin that in. So it is a little bit, do you remember when we did the flying geese last week? I said it's quite important to have that little overlap. It's the same with this. You do want that little overlap so that when we sew them together you don't lose the point. Okay, so I'm just going to pin that in. There we go, and pin this one in. Ooh, let's get that line the right way around, like that. Okay, and I'm using the same fabric as I did last week. So this was a Janet Clare fabric. I think it's called origami, and I had 4 fat quarters of it, and I should be able to make maybe 4 or 5 blocks out of that. You know, so, and then I'll mix it in with some other navies and things, and to make something with all these blocks that we've been doing. So again, we're going to go back to the sewing machine, and we're going to stitch down that line just like we did a minute ago. All right, so back over we go. And we're going to sew down that line. And just be careful when you start, because you don't want the fabric to get all caught up. So I tend to start just very slightly in. There we go. Hopefully Drew's getting this. Oh, I've put that pin in the way. Let's get that pin out of the way. There we go, like that. And then again with this one, just stitching down that line. Okay. And then again with this last one, stitching down the line. Hopefully you guys can see this. There we go. There we go. And then I'm going to just snip them apart because I've chain pieced them. So snip those apart like that. And then as we did a moment ago again, I'm just going to take off this excess. So I'm going to chop off the excess here. Okay, so there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, and there's number 4. Okay, and over we go. Let's get rid of those bits there. It's my pocket, and yeah, and again, I need one of those wheelie chairs, really, don't I? We're going to press, set the seam, and roll like that there, and press to set the seam and roll out. So actually, just before I do the other 2, you can see, okay, so you should have about 1/4 of an inch of fabric overlap here, so that when we sew them together you don't lose your point. Okay, so let's do those last 2. Okay, everybody all right so far? Everybody making sense? You all right? You're all with me? Am I going too fast? Do you need me to slow down? Do let me know in the comments, okay? So, there we go. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 ready done, okay? So you can see you've got like the main piece of fabric here with 2 little corners. So I've added the corners on. Okay. Any questions, Drew? Is anything coming up, or
No.
everybody all right so far?
Paula said she's loving this.
Cool.
And
Fabulous.
Maria said I've got my iron next to me today.
Ah, well done. Yeah, saves running backwards and forwards between rooms, doesn't it? Cool. So the next little bit we're going to do is you're going to take we're going to do the little 4 patches. Okay, so this, you should have 8 of your white fabric and 8 of your dark, I think it was the pale green on the original picture, but 8 of whatever's left of the 16. So you should have had 16 of this one. So we've used 8 for that, and you're going to use 8 for this, okay? And we're going to make, really simply, a little 4 patch, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to pair these up right sides together, okay? And always make sure that one colour is on the bottom. It'll make sure it works. It helps with the sort of organisation of it all. So I'm just going to pair all of these up like this. So I'm going to put right sides together, always with my navy one on the bottom, like that. Okay, and once we've paired them all up, we're going to chain piece them together really nice and quick, because this is a really, really quick little block. Okay. How are you all? Everyone okay? Everybody still feeling well?
Barbara says, taking it all in, we'll have a go later.
Ah, fab. Yeah, sometimes, even though we're calling this a sew along, sometimes it might be easier actually to watch this and then sew afterwards, because you can put me on repeat as much as you like. Which I wouldn't suggest a lot of the time, to be honest. Just enough to watch the videos, okay? So I've paired all those up. I'm going to come over to the machine again. And we're just going to, so you can stay quite wide on this, Drew, okay? Use my 1/4 inch seam, and I'm just going to pair all these together like that, and chain piece. So if you chain piece in, don't break the thread, just carry on feeding them through, okay? Always with that white one on the top, and that way you know they're all going to be the right way round, because it's nothing more frustrating than doing a 4 patch where you turn around and then suddenly it's not a checkerboard.
Maria said it's like Ready Steady Cook with fabric.
Yeah, oh, there's a throwback, Ready Steady Cook. And mind you, saying that, with all the food shortages and stuff, we could be doing Ready Steady Cook in our own cupboards, couldn't we? Taking 5 random ingredients and seeing what we can make.
They're bringing it back.
Are they?
Yeah, with Ellis Barry.
Ah, right, cool. There we go. So, that's all those little ones done together. Yeah, it's very noisy, my machine today, I'm afraid. It's playing up something terrible. I might have to go and get my little old machine out of the shop, because this one is not behaving. There we go. Okay, so what you're going to do now is you're going to press these out. And again, it's more ironing. So I tend to always, you know, as we say, we go to the dark side. So you red eye. So if you have the dark one on top and lift and roll, because it's always best to iron from the top where you. If you iron from the back, it's very easy for the fabric to fold over, and you lose only like a 1/16 of an inch, a tiny little bit, but all of those add up, and then suddenly a block doesn't come together. Okay, so I'm going to do Jedi and go to the dark side.
Sarah says we can do Ready Steady Cook with me.
I'm going to do a Ready Steady Cook with you.
Yeah.
Okay. What, with actual food? We could set up cameras, couldn't we? One in my kitchen, one in your kitchen. And somebody we'll get the boys to give us random ingredients, and we'll do a Ready Steady Cook Facebook Live. That would be interesting. I don't like cooking anymore, though. That's what I got Phil and Drew for. So there we go. I'm just rolling these back. Oh, it does get hot, mine, so go steady. You end up being like this, like a gecko. Hot, hot, hot. Okay, so there we go. So you can see now, so I'm just going to take 2 to start with, because we're going to make 4 little 4 patches. Okay.
She said, no, with Drew, I don't cook.
Ah, right. Oh, okay, so
film.
Drew can go to your house, sir, and he can use your kitchen. And I'll use my kitchen and we'll film it. That would be interesting.
You can have Josh and you film Josh.
Okay. Oh, I will cook between you and Josh.
Yeah.
Okay, that'd be interesting. Okay, so taking 2 of the little pairs, I'm going to turn this one so that, in fact, actually, let me move the board out of the way and be able to see it a little bit better. Okay, so we've taken 2 of the little pairs and we're going to turn it. Little 4 patch, okay, because we've ironed everything to the dark side. Can you see that when we sew them together now, they will nest really well because you've got one seam going this way and one seam going that way, and they almost kind of click in. If you sort of push them together, you can feel them sort of butt up against each other, and that hopefully should give us a nice crisp point in the middle. Now I'm just going to do one to start with because I want to show you a little trick that we're going to do with the back. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly sew this one up. Grab this one, so I'm cheating and not moving. Okay, there we go. So just quickly sew that one up. Okay, there we go, like this. And then we're going to take it back to the ironing board and press it, and we're going to iron it out. Okay, so we're going to iron it like that. Okay, so the point looks okay at the moment, but there's a little trick for the on the back, which I'm hoping Drew's going to be able to get. Okay, can you see, hold it up, can you see these couple of little stitches here? If we just take a pin and pull those two out, okay, like that, just release them both sides, like that. Ooh, come on, there we go, just release them like that. You're not going to undo that seam, but what that does, it means that you can then push this seam apart like that. I'm just going to give it a tiny weeny press like that so you can see. Okay, and can you see it makes a tiny little four patch on the back? So it looks like a little four patch on the back. And what that does is that reduces all the bulk in the centre, which will help when you're quilting it, but also makes it lie really, really flat. And I have to say, I'm really quite chuffed with that because that is an absolutely perfect point. Okay, can you guys see that? Hopefully that's in focus and you'll be able to see it. Okay, so I'll do it again for you, but can you see it makes the seams go in opposite directions. Well, I'll do it with the other three. Okay, so there's my first four patch. So 4 patches, I'm going to put it over like that, put right sides together and nest those seams, get it all tucked in nicely, and pop a pin in there. And do that again, so like that, turn, nest the seam, let me grab another pin. Oh, that seam is not nested. There we go, that's it. You can actually feel it, if you kind of wiggle it with your fingers, you can actually feel it sort of tuck in next to each other. And also I tend to pin diagonally because what I'm doing is pinning this seam down, but I'm also pinning that seam down at the back that way. This is more likely to stay flat in the way you want it to be. Okay, and there we go, there's the second one like that, like third one like that. I'm going to pin that into place. Okay, and then we're going to go off to the machine again. So just stay high, groups, they don't need to go. So there we go. So all I'm going to do now is I'm just going to chain piece these ones all the way down. If you can hear me over my very noisy machine, I don't know what I've done to it. Working yesterday, and so I had to take it apart, take the plating all off, and take it all apart, and then it just fuse went in it, and fuse in it, and now it's making this very random little noise. There we go. Okay, so back over this side, and I'm going to repeat that we did. So I can show you again. Let's take the pins out like that. Okay, so I'm going to press to start with and then roll back, and then do you remember what I said about taking out and grab a pin? You're going to take out those couple of little stitches there, and I'm hoping you can see this. Oh, hang on, it's not coming. There we go. There we go. 1, 2. Take those 2 out there. Just make sure they've come out this side, which they have. And it doesn't want to come out. There you go. That's the joy of live filming. Snip that. Come on. There we go. Could use a seam ripper actually rather than a pin. That would help. Okay. And then when you open it up, you see this seam's going to go this way. This one's going to go that way. you've got that little tiny 4 patch in the centre, little mini 4 patch there, which gives you that perfect point on the other side. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly do the other 2 for you, and we can start putting this block together because it's a nice quick one. It's almost done. There we go, like that, and like that. Just take those couple out. There, come on. There we go, 1. And it is only just one or 2 stitches. It just means that, like we're saying, it lies much, much flatter and gets rid of all the bulk in the back. Okay. Oh, I don't know where you guys are all today, but it's horrible here. It's really dull and overcast. It's not a pleasant day at all. Not a pleasant day. Come on, there we go. Okay, so that one's going one way, that goes the other, and we're all done. And you get those perfect points. I'll just give them a quick press from the top, like that. Okay, and now we're ready to assemble the block. So I'm going to lie this block out for you. Okay, so traditionally the block has a centre square which is the same as this white fabric, but you could really play with this. Okay, do you want to come up to me a second? So you could really play with this. You could find a really nice focal fabric, something that's got a bigger print. You could fussy cut something in the centre. I did see one of the illusion blocks, I can't remember who did it now, but they cut out it so they had a bird sat right in the centre, which was lovely. And so you could do the same with this block if you wanted to. Have a little look through your fabrics, or you could do like a little bit of a plique or something. You could use it as a focal central square, but we're just going to do it today as it traditionally is. So I'm going to lie this out.
Sun says it's sunny but chilly.
Oh, I wish it was sunny here. It's really, really grey. It's horrible. It's horrible here.
Says it's supposed to be getting nicer over the weekend.
Oh, I hope so. I hope so. I'd like to be able to just sit in the garden, which would be lovely. Okay. And then we're going to do this. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm lying the block out. And can you see the white is touching the white in the centre? So you don't want it like this. Well, you could have it like that. It gives you a whole other block. Let me just lie this out like this for you, with the white touch in the centre. Okay, so that's kind of how it's supposed to look. But there's nothing stopping you playing around with it. What happens to it when you put the dark to the centre? Yeah, that gives you a slightly different look. Okay, yeah, so that gives it a slightly more, it slightly frames this a little bit more, doesn't it? Actually, I quite like that. Could play with that one. Okay, what happens when you put these to the centre? Okay, and play with it. So there's nothing stopping you in, you know, sort of playing around with these blocks. Oh, look, you end up with a, can you see this sort of like a navy star appeared there now? And if we do that, let's do that. Okay, so you can see you've ended up with a like an Ohio star in the centre. Okay.
Sandra said she was almost catching up and then saw she was sewing holes into a fabric instead of a thread.
No, what was it, bobbin thread or top thread? I hate it when the bobbin thread goes. That's one of the few things I like about this machine, is that you can't sew when the bobbin's gone. It just won't, it just bleeps at you until you change it. So, right, so I'm going to put this block back to the original one. But if you're making more than one of these, play around with the placement. And show me what variations you've come up with, because actually you could see then by changing things, you've got all sorts of different shapes and things. So we're going to sew this one to this one and that one. So we're going to do the 3 rows just like we did last time. I'm going to sew it into 3 rows. Okay, so I'm going to sew that one to that one and then add that onto the other side. I'm going to go back over here, just chat at you while I'm sewing it all together. There we go. So I'm going to, again, you know me, I'm not a massive pinner. Just line it up and go for it. Okay. There we go. Stitch down that side. And then I'm going to add this one onto this side. Remember, those whites will be facing that centre. Make sure those are the right way round. Add that one to that one. Oh, I haven't had enough tea yet today. I tell you what, I am missing Linda's tea making. I really am. I'm not having anywhere near enough cups of tea in the day. So I've got no one to make them for me. I'm having to make them myself. So yeah, definitely missing Linda's tea making. Okay, so that's your first row. And then I'm going to sew these two either side of the centre square. Okay, so let's stitch down that side. And then we're going to stitch down the other side. So have you got any questions, ladies? Anybody want me to go through any of these bits again? Is everything making sense at the moment? How you all doing? Everybody all right with that? Okay, there we go. And then we're going to do the last one. So what I thought I'd do for next week's block is tackle some curves. I thought we'd do a drunkard's path block. Okay, so it's something that people are quite scared of, and actually there's a couple of tips and hints that I can give you which hopefully will take that scariness away. So I thought we'd do a drunkard's path block next week, and there'll be a template available for you to be able to cut out your fabrics. Okay, so add that one onto there.
Sally, tip.
Cool. Excellent. That's for the leg. Oh, see, that went really wonky. So if you go a bit wonky, like that did, that's because I wasn't concentrating. I'm just going to re-sew that line.
Linda says she missed making them for all of us too.
Oh, I really do miss your tea, love. Okay, and then we're just going to... And now I'm going to... So with the ironing, the top and the bottom block, I'm going to iron outwards, and the middle block, I'm going to iron inwards, okay?
Marilyn asks, how come when you undo the centre, the rest doesn't undo?
Because it's the initial seam. It's the seam from when you sewed these two together, not from when you sewed the whole line across. So it's just it's trapped in the seam allowance. So you'll be fine, lovely.
Marilyn says, another brilliant tutorial. Thank you, Sarah. I loved it.
Oh, jolly good. Is that Marilyn Thomas?
Lloyd.
Oh, Marion.
Oh, Marion, sorry.
Marion. So, everybody okay? Everybody doing anything exciting today? My husband and I started a Scrabble tournament up because the boredom is setting in. Although I shouldn't really be bored. I've got so much on at the moment, it's crazy. I think it's the evenings. There's only so much Netflix you can watch in there. Okay, so now, do you remember about the nesting? Because I've ironed outwards and the middle one in, I can now nest these together like that. Like that. And again, just nesting that one together just before we put it to sew all the way along there. And again, you can put more pins in if you like, but you know me, I'm not a massive pinner. Much more of a wing it girl. So, just while I'm putting these together, so there won't be a video tomorrow, I'm afraid. We're not doing a 1 o'clock video tomorrow because Sarah and I have got to do all the filming for Hachanda. So we are going to be mega busy with that. So there won't be a 1 o'clock tomorrow, but I will be back on Friday. I've lost track of my day, so I will be back on Friday. So what we're going to do tomorrow is, I had to look at the rainbow idea. You know, a lot of people have asked for a rainbow to put in their window. There are lots and lots of patterns, free patterns already out there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some links to the YouTube videos and all on our Facebook page tomorrow, so you can all have a go at making a rainbow. I could come up with one, but I don't think I'm going to actually come up with anything more original than that's already out there, because there's some brilliant ones out there. So I'll do that for you. I'll put that on tomorrow. And then we will be back live on Friday, and I'm going to show you string quilting, okay? Which is a brilliant way of using up all your scraps and things, and it's incredibly fast quilting as well. Really nice and easy. Fab if you've got a jelly roll that you want to use up, or you can cut lots and lots of strips of fabric. And so we're going to do some kind of like a quilt as you go method, but I'm going to show you how to add some stuff in, so add some lace in as well. Okay, so that's what we're going to do on Friday. But yeah, no, sorry, no video tomorrow, just because we are going to be silly busy filming for Chanda. So it's going to be a bit of a crazy day, and I'm not sure I can squeeze you guys in. I might do a quick hello from the shop if we get time, but I'll say we'll be back on Friday. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to do this block. And let me know as well if there's anything you guys want to do. A few people have asked about bag making. The thing with bag making is it takes a little bit longer than the sort of 40 minutes or so that I can do on Facebook Live. But I thought we could maybe do Moore's bags, because Moore's bags are really nice and quick, and they're a brilliant way of raiding your airing cupboards and using like old duvet covers and old curtains that you've not you've had stashed away and stuff. So we can maybe do Moore's bags. I think Sarah's feeling well enough now that she might be doing a couple of tutorials next week as well. She's got a couple of little ideas that she fancies having a go at, so we'll be able to do that as well next week. So there's lots and lots happening still, but we're just not going to be here tomorrow just because of the Facebook, the Chanda thing. Okay.
Diana asked, could you explain what a mile high quilt is? I've not come across one before.
What, sorry?
A mile high quilt.
Oh, a mile high quilt. Oh, I don't know what that is, to be honest. I'll have to have a Google. Oh, well, mind you, I'm not sure I want to Google mile high, because that's something completely different. Mile a minute is something we do, which is like an improv quilting. Improv quilting is using up all your scraps. You don't really have a pattern, but I can certainly show you that. In fact, I'll probably show you that on Friday with the string quilting. We'll do a little bit of mile a minute and string quilting, so that you've got both methods. But yeah, cool. But no, I've not heard of mile high quilt. I need to be careful when I Google that though. That could come up with some really dodgy stuff. Okay, so there we go. That's your block finished. Okay, so Drew can, I don't know, hopefully you can get that. Shall I hold that up for you? There we go. Okay, but you could see as I was moving the pieces around, you get all sorts of different patterns evolving. And if you make lots of these blocks, you end up with these like lovely diamonds and all happening. It's like secondary patterns as well. So that's the block for this week. Okay. I will put the written instructions on this. I'm going to call this my arrow block, okay? Because I think these look like arrows shooting out. So I'm going to call this the arrow block. It's probably got a proper name, but I don't know what it is. What are you giggling at, Drew?
You.
Me? So yeah, I don't know why he's giggling at me. I don't think I'm that funny. Certainly not that funny. Anyway, I'm going to call this the arrow pattern, okay? And I'll put block 2 on our website, and you'll be able to download the written instructions. I'll try and get those on later this afternoon. So if anybody wants not to listen to me, just wants to read the pattern, they'll be available for you, okay? Has anybody got any questions? Anybody want me to run through anything before we go today? You all okay? It's quite a nice simple little block, but looks really effective.
Don't think I've missed any questions.
No one's asking you questions. You all okay? So,
Right.
we will see you then on Friday at 1 o'clock. Won't see you tomorrow. Kind of miss you, to be honest. But yeah, got lots and lots of filming to do for Hajanda. So we will see you tomorrow. See you on Friday at 1 o'clock. We're going to do string quilting and improv mile a minute quilting. So yeah, join us if you'd like to, and we'll see you then. Take care, everybody. Stay safe, stay home, and stay tuned in. Bye.